Boom! We're off with another episode of Booze Your Daddy, the podcast. I'm your host, Dr. Alan Snyder, here with my boy, Zach. Mazel mazel. Good things, Elias. What's up,
Yeah, for
buddy?
the first time, you're actually daddy. So there's
Oh,
that.
that you know of, my
No,
friend.
yeah, he's got one in every state. This guy's just, throwing darts.
I still do use that line. People go, is it your first? I go, that I know of.
Heyo. Did you ever get your free meal that Sunday when they met that guy?
Huh?
When you threatened to beat Julia when she was pregnant, that guy goes, "Come back Sunday for free food."
Oh, no, I definitely will go back another time. The kid was great. I want to stake him in something. He's a winner. He's a real winner, this hamburger flipper.
You want to stake him? Have you ever seen Blackjack?
Booze Your Daddy, the podcast.
Meanwhile,
Tuesdays.
we were at our in-laws the other day. I was sure I was going to see the big white buck and bucket, but no, not there.
Tuesdays, we do it live. Saturdays, we post it later. People who are watching this, tell a friend to tell a friend. Your mother loves our podcast. Daddy loves the podcast. We're going to keep doing this. Might be about last week. Something came up and wasn't able to do it. That's
Something
the first
came
one
up,
I've missed.
something went out.
That was the first one I've missed in, it might be years, dude.
Yeah, me and Dan Kona had a hell of a show.
No, you didn't. You don't even know how to do it.
I don't know how to, what, her or the show?
I think we have a great episode for tonight.
I should have called her and figured this thing out.
Before we get into tonight's episode, Zacharias, why don't you tell everybody what you are drinking?
Because you didn't send me any baby beer or like Briss Light or anything like that. I got another one. Yeah, I got two more of these Dykmans, and I'm gonna try to plow through them so I can get something good for next week or so. By the way, what are you drinking? Was there a formal Briss or was it just snip in the thing? Because so Eat the Rat I got to meet this kid, and I did not.
He has to come over. Have you asked?
No, it was a schlep. Meet in the middle.
No, we didn't do a formal bris. We just had the doctor do it on the Friday, and we've already gotten ahead of the game as far as the kids' circumcisions all healed, which makes life a lot easier because there was a whole process between changing diapers. And I could go on and on about how bad it is. But you want to know what I'm drinking, Zach?
Is it baby pee? Because I hear they piss in your face all the time.
I just bathed them for the first time. It didn't go well. But I figured I'd go ahead. I always try to have something I've never had before. Well, when we were on the plane...
Champagne?
Absolutely, man. Coming back from Mexico, they gave us two of these for our wedding, and Julia's, 6 months pregnant at that point, or at least she acted like it. And I was like, all right, we'll take these home. The best part, this is plastic, which is kind of funny. But it is Black Edition, JP Chenet Franc, Blanc en Blanc, Bleu de Bleu, Fromage Bruce de Sparkling Wine, Vin Monsieur. But I figured I'm going to celebrate, at least me and myself and Irene.
No muzzle, enjoy.
I really should have thought this through. I'm hoping this just twists. Oh, it just twists off.
It's so cheap. It's so cheap. The whole point of it is just the cork. I don't even like champagne. I just tell me, like, give me a good bottle of scotch and the cheapest champagne you have. I just want to do the cork.
I was debating on drinking this straight out of the bottle, but I was afraid
you were going to.
So much shit. I might just finish this.
Oh, I thought you were going to. L'chaim.
Cheers to me, l'chaim, buddy.
Cheers to you with the arrogance. You're supposed to let someone cheers to you for you. Not just go.
God. Anything more overrated than champagne? Is it just one big ksh? It's the worst. It's like...
It's the worst. It's terrible. It's nothing. Although I had a steak dinner the other night. I had leftovers. It's the most underrated thing. When you're eating the T-bone steak and you think you've got it all on the bone and you find a nice little meat pocket you didn't know about, there's nothing better.
Okay, I'm assuming you're saying because you get to do that in the comfort of your home. I did that at a table with you multiple times in a restaurant.
Yeah, and then you had some steak.
Hey!
No, but when you're gnawing the thing, you're like, all right, I'm done. Let me go back in for one more lap around. And you find a little meat corner or a little pocket you didn't hit. Fantastic.
Zach, big things have happened, but we're going to do this. I want you to go ahead and read the name of the episode. Episode 185, calling this...
Bob, we had a baby, it's a boy.
Where's that from?
I have no idea.
Oh, you're the worst. It is by far the best 1-800-COLLECT commercial from back in the day when the cheap ass didn't want to pay for the phone call. So he called his parents and he goes, your name? He goes, Bob, last name, Wehadababyitsaboy. And they go,
bad.
Where are you calling from? He goes, 7 pounds, 10 ounces. Oh, I can't believe I'm going to send it to you. It's worth the 45 seconds.
I remember it now. I couldn't pull it then.
Oh, it took the scenic route there.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, Zachy, I got a lot to talk about.
Ron Katz is calling you up for a dad joke. You're a dad.
I didn't make the joke. It's a callback.
Yeah, you used it.
Fungal.
I'm with Katz on this one.
So the first question you should be asking me is, how's everything going?
Meh.
Not great,
How is
dude.
it going? I know it's not going well.
No, it is just one of those things where I have like a couple of rants, but the fact that people are like, oh, you'll figure it out. We
Yeah,
got
we all
screwed
say that.
over. We got screwed over so bad at the hospital.
Why,
It
your
was
kid sucks? He sucks already?
Yeah, it was really, really bad because this kid, they told us he only needs a teaspoon per feeding, blah, 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 breastfeed. We took him home and it got to the point that I was like, maybe we should give him a bottle. And Julie goes, no, they said he's good. And we starved him for 2 days. It was one of those things
Does he
that we had
look
to go
great,
back.
though?
Better than me.
Yeah, well,
More hair.
some
Dude.
kids just suck. I mean, you ever meet a guy at a bar and say, man, that guy sucked. He has parents.
Yeah, I played softball with you for a while. I'm well
aware.
aware of how this works.
But
we took him back to the hospital, not to return him. No, we had to do like a check, and I got there after no sleep, and I'm doing everything I can to help Julia, and I just was like, I want to return this kid. Like, this is so miserable. And then we go to a pediatrician who is now
credit only.
God, because he recommended to us. You ever try feeding the kid? And we're like, no, the hospital said we don't need to, and then we did, and everything's gotten better. He's become a dream. He has a couple of moments here and there, but so do I.
What a novel concept. Feed a boy. It's not rocket science.
I even was like, they told us not to. It was one of those things I'm like, I don't understand what we're doing wrong.
What kind of fugazi hospital is this in Jersey?
It's a top prenatal hospital or postnatal, whatever the hell it is. Dude.
Is it Beth Israel or is it some Goyishi hospital? Exactly.
The second one. So,
yeah,
Zach,
we don't know.
I have a lot to talk about, but I just want to go through the 3 things that bothered me most about the pregnancy, the delivery. 3 lines that I never want to hear again. Line number 1, are you ready? People asked me that leading up to this pregnancy. I guess I kind of took it as, are you ready to coach soccer? Are you ready to be the T-ball third base coach and send them home when they need to? But what they actually were trying to tell me was, are you ready to storm the beaches of Normandy? Because this child is going to feel like you're running on D-Day and guts are flying out of everywhere. It was a nightmare.
Well, that's a you problem. We had a very smooth delivery. A couple nights in the hospital and a delightful kid. Now, she's a nightmare now at 9. She's a pain in the ass. Oh, well. But the kid, we had a baby nurse, put her on a sleep schedule. Kid slept through the night after day 1. No biggie. E2?
No. Number 2. I do not want to hear any more take everything. The fact that people, even the nurses at the hospital go, take everything. I think the hospitals know you're taking everything. Unless you're letting me take the bulletin board and the television, I can afford 4 strips of gauze that you're letting me take from the thing.
But you still took it.
Well, I'm not an idiot. I'm still
exactly. I can't Marlene's favorite price.
You like that? I think I made
did
that
like
up.
that. Yeah.
But it was to the point that, like, it's funny. We forgot to take the swaddles, and that was the only thing we could have really benefited from. When
Zoe
we were there.
unswaddleable. Day 1 was kicking legs out, kicking arms, not into it. Couldn't do it.
Zach, I've become the expert swaddler. Do you know why? Because of all the swaddles we got, somebody gave us something that I called
a joint.
What am I, Z? No.
That's good.
I've seen him roll a joint on a newspaper stand on an incline. It was the most impressive thing I've ever seen.
Pretty good.
Somebody gave us a swaddle that I effectively call the Houdini, and it's a straitjacket. So what it is, it's a sack, and on the inside are 2 Velcros. So I put him down, I lay him, I hold his arms, I go strap, zip him up. He makes this face, right? He fights it. He goes, and right out. I mean, it's like he gives one good effort and he's right out. And I have a couple of friends that are having kids. I was sending links this week going, don't mess with this swaddle. Don't just get the Houdini. And it is literally a straitjacket. He can't get out of it. It's great.
I'm telling you, that 4 moms rocker thing saved our fucking lives.
Yeah, you said you were getting me that.
Shot. I didn't say that. I said you should get it. But
no, you said my present is this.
Yeah, I sent you the link. That was the present. The fact that I gave you the information, I'm not buying you that thing.
The last thing,
but that thing's worth it. I don't care. It's a write-off, probably.
I simply cannot take anymore the fact that it's like, when something bad happens, people go, hey, is there anything I can do for you? Famous last words. I got to the point, including to your wife, who people go, is there anything I can do? I started texting people my address and the code to get in the front door.
Well, have some specifics. That's why I never ask. I never offer because I'm terrified they'll say yes. Not that I have anything to offer that I can do, but If you don't want to actually, what if they say yes? It's just a non-invite. It's such trite conversation. Yeah, make her go to Jersey and do stuff.
Next baby shower, I'm going to say no presents. I am going to put a calendar on the wall, and your present is sign up for a night. That's all I want from people.
It's a sleepover. You take the baby, you take the shift.
At least the first 2 or 3 days, it was so bad. And when people go, hey, congratulations, is there anything I can do for you? And I was like, you can go straight to hell and just don't stop.
I offered nothing. I say I give you a mazel. The best gift we got was from my mom. 2 weeks of a baby nurse. The opening 2 weeks. So she would do 12-hour shifts, not 8 to 8. You picked your eights. So, like, the first day or so, we're like, 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. We'll watch, we'll learn. But day 2, yeah, we've learned everything we want. How about you do 8 p.m. to 8 a.m. through the night? Let us sleep. We slept like babies. She got Zoe on a night shift. Great movie, actually, Night Shift.
It's a strip club in Baltimore as well.
Fiance, nice frame. Only Ron Katz and maybe this whole list has seen Night Shift. None of the others have even heard of it, but it's excellent. Orlando's in Baltimore too. I'm sure it's great.
So there a lot of other things happen. Now, I tried to tell you guys the name of the baby at the baby shower, and nobody paid attention because we kind of were
just stopped right there. Nobody paid attention.
We were leaning towards now.
You've already seen Night Shift.
There's no wrong way to eat a Reese's. Tara is Tara. Andrea is Andrea. You've said Milo. We're calling him Milo, but you're not wrong for that.
I feel like I'm not calling him Milosh.
Well, we did name him after the Greek island of Milos, where Julie and I went, and we had a great time. It's where they discovered the famous Venus de Milo. So you have to
go to Lesbos,
but I don't think they have what you think they have there.
I know they don't have what I think I have there.
So at the baby shower, there was a shot. It was the baby shot. It was Mountain Dew, ice, lemonade, and a splash of orange. It was a Milo shot.
No one is going to put that together.
Nobody asked what was in it.
Because it's disgusting that Pruno you were serving us. Some gummy bear nasty shot. You're giving Zoe a jelly bean shot. She was off with Schnicket. God knows what she was drinking. I'm eating couch ice cream. I'm taking food advice from Anne. That thing was controlled chaos, and then your bed fell. So
still broken.
Is it? It's not coming back. Zoe also.
Meanwhile, my brother-in-law, my older brother-in-law who fixed the bed, didn't fix it. He has been giving me so much swaddle shame. Like every time I send a picture, he'll just respond, "What an amateur swaddling job." Because he had 3 kids in West Virginia. He was like, "Oh yeah."
West Virginia, he's like you put him in a milk crate. Like anything goes in West Virginia.
He had a great line the other day in a group text message where I posted a picture and then somebody liked the picture and it said, this person liked this. This person loved this. He then writes, Eric likes this picture, but had a period at the end of it. So he just typed it in as a text message and then went, Apple elitist. It was really good. As far as the episode that didn't get dropped, I just want everybody, don't worry. I released it at the time of this now. So after this episode's over or tomorrow, also go back. It was really funny. It took me a while to edit, but I was snickering, laughing on the couch by myself. It's pretty good.
God, that's what happens when you don't sleep for 5 days. It's chaos.
So this doctor, I want to tell you some of the highlights of the delivery. So we have this Dr. Son, this Pittsburgh Steeler asshole, who we've had, 6, 7 appointments. I've never gotten even a little bit of a smile at his ass go. Like anything I say, he just looks at me like, you done? Anyways, during the delivery.
And you can get thrown out of the office by, the Russian mob. I did.
The baby comes out of the delivery like the team running through the tunnel, rips through the paper, and the doctor goes, oh, watch out. Hold on to your wallets. Here he comes. As the baby comes out, pisses all over me, which I sure is going to be more of that to come in the future. Anyway, things settle down. And finally, I turn and look at him and I go, did you make a wallet comment? He goes, yeah, the baby came out, arms out. I told her. It was so funny. Oh, it was. Now, I don't know about you, but you were in the room when Zoe first came out?
Yes. I was the first one to hold her outside of the doctor, the Russian doctor. She's her Eastern Bloc. So yeah, Jenna was getting all stitched up because it was a planned C-section. I was, busy flirting with the anesthesiologist until, all things were, good. Then I saw Zoe and they gave me the kid. And then when Jenna's all drugged out, I got to take the Heisman picture. It's great.
Yeah, that's actually a pretty good one. I've been thinking about something like that. But now, I don't know about your room, but were they cutting onions in your room? Because when my baby came out, my eyes were just not okay.
Yeah, that happened. Man up.
You have no heart. I also was having a really bad allergic reaction. I can hear the baby crying upstairs right now. He probably doesn't like the podcast like everybody else in the world.
A critic.
I have so many stories I could tell.
Milo, his whole life, if he was say Milo, actually it's Milo. You've foisted the actually onto him.
He's going to be fine. Now, where you should be worried, you've seen a picture. Does he look like...
It's like literally if they said to you, Alan, actually it's Alan, for the rest of your life.
But I'm already going with, call me what you want to call me. You can call me what you want to call me.
I've called you a lot of things.
Zachy, you've seen a picture of the kid. Does he look like me a little bit?
Currently, but I've heard the Asian gene is strong.
What about this kid reminds you of me? What feature? He has more hair.
I've only seen him in a hat like a few times. Looks like he's going to knock over a liquor store. Very you. But I don't know. I haven't gotten gotten to see a profile picture. I haven't gotten to see him with his hat off.
Well, I'm really worried because I think he looks just like Julia, which means he's going to get my personality. And then I'm like, oh, he's going to be a real wise ass. This is not good. We don't need two of them.
You've got two of them right here. Who needs...
Zach, a lot of stuff.
His eyes, we'll see.
So many things happened during this, but I just want to tell you, probably the thing that Julia was a nightmare, by the way. But she had one moment that cracked me up where they have the pulse ox on her finger, to check it. Meanwhile, she's paralyzed from the waist down from the epidural, and she just turns and they're doing this and that, and she goes, "Well, what about my ET finger?" And I just wasn't ready for it, and I lost it. I was like, "It's such a
that's pretty good. That's charming."
That Vinny guy, it was very charming. There's a lot of great stories. I might save it for like a solo podcast just because there's so. But as far as this whole experience, dude, it was just one of those like, I'm not doing it anytime soon again. Like it was brutal.
The sex or other day.
So
good luck.
Yeah, man. So I have one other thing that I want to talk about with you, which
this all day. You made a person, or at least Julia did.
I definitely could. So there is a word now. Remember how like these new words come up and you just go like, wait a minute, what? Now there's a new word that's gaining a lot of play. It's all over the internet. It is called rizzing or to rizz. What do you think that means?
I don't know. Being a fan of Anthony Rizzo.
Okay, that's not where I thought you were going to go with this. But nowadays, looking it up, it means rizzing a woman, which means you're spitting game or flirting with her. If a man has super talent when it comes to attracting a woman, then he's probably a professional rizzer. So you rizz somebody up. Kind of. It's like spitting game. It's a new way of saying this. And
spitting
it's just
game? Right on them. They love
everything. It's everywhere, dude. Everywhere is rizz. And I was going to make this like Pishadoo of the year. Do you know where it originated from?
Baltimore, I would assume. I mean, like somewhere in that
South Baltimore. I was like, oh,
like Amsterdam.
But rizzing is this new thing where you're like, why do kids keep on making up these stupid fucking words?
Because they can't read real words. Rarudo, fucking thing.
A friend of mine, former patient, just had a kid and named it RRR. Like I'd have to find the name for you, but it was like Rizzo, Rachel, Rotunda. I was like, that is a lot of R's.
Rotunda, like the old wrestler in the 80s?
I could look it up while you're talking here, but it was just one of those like, that is a very aggressive name for a kid.
Better than KKK.
Zach, it's been 2 weeks. Are you feeling jerky? Can you give me some quirky?
I can. I thought we were going to go very deep on you having a kid, so I didn't go that much.
What do you want to know? I'll tell you anything.
I don't know. I got nothing. I thought you were going to have stories for days.
Did I say that? That was not. I didn't.
I don't know. You look like you're just going to walk out of Vietnam.
It's just one of those. I'm looking at. I took notes like Dear Diary. Here's what happened day one. None of them were so great. The only thing that was really worth mentioning was we park in the emergency entrance to do this. Like, there's 3 spots, emergency only, and then we go in, and I'm like, Mister, like my car is going to get towed, and they go, Is your car running? I said, no, it's parked. They go, all right, just come upstairs. An hour later, I go, I should move my car from the emergency entrance, right? And the girl goes, no, you could leave it there all day. Nobody cares. And then when we pick the kid up,
that's only parking.
when we pick the kid up, they go, just park in the fire lane right there. And I went, I'm pretty sure that's rule number 1 is don't. They go, nobody really cares.
I mean, none of the stuff I have is rising against you having a kid. John Sterling getting hit in the face was fantastic, and staying on the ball.
Right.
I hate him to death. It was fantastic.
Oh.
What? He's here? He's got a show?
Who?
The kid.
No.
You reached over. I thought we were going to pull him in.
No, over there. That's the wall. Keep
going.
Wall,
yeah. Oh, yeah. That's the Wings wall. Nevertheless, Pat Sajak retiring after all those years. Man, he's been doing this shit a long time, that playing hangman on TV.
I've never heard it called that. Although, I actually did Google, like, all right, how do I get this job? Do you know who's going to replace him? It's not official.
No.
Nepo baby.
Who's that? His kid?
His kid. Yeah, they're talking like
daughter?
his daughter. Yeah, his daughter or Vanna or one of those.
Well, then it's got to be Vanna's son. You've got to gender bend the whole thing.
It's one big gender fender bender.
It is. Republican Congressman Dan Crenshaw. Did you see what he did?
I know that. Is he the one-eyed monster?
Yeah. So this is charming to me, certainly, as I've been thrown out of a softball game for prop comedy. He was so mad during the Congress soccer game at the refs. He took out his glass eye and he put it into the trophy. Fabulous. He's got my vote. I don't know where he's from, but he's got my vote.
I'm 99% sure he's Texas.
Yeah, most likely. Did you see Conor McGregor, what he did? He went full Ace Ventura.
Well, I have him as my Pishadoo of the week because he has two things happen that night. So let's just talk about it, Zach. Tell everybody what Conor McGregor did.
He smacked a mascot, and it was fantastic. He went like all in on Ace Ventura on the Heat mascot.
He had to go to the hospital.
He knocked the guy out.
But
what is the Heat thing, though? It's like a thing. What is the mascot? Like it's a bird of sorts, right?
I have no idea, but do you know what else he did that night?
No.
Little frappuccino, little rappe. It's bad.
Really?
It's really bad. He's being accused.
Rappuccino?
Yeah, rappuccino. Is that what you drink? No, it's really bad because he's being accused of sexual abuse, and the story is and this is not the first time stuff like this has come out about him, and he's denying everything. Look, we're a comedy podcast. The weird part about it is he's like, I've never seen that girl. I don't know what you're talking about. Yeah, on video is him holding her hand and taking her to the bathroom.
He's still never seen her. He's just no clue. There's the submarine that went missing looking for the Titanic for $250,000 a person.
It was my sign off, Zach. I was gonna say I got tickets for all right. I never wish bad things on anybody, but there's like billionaires on that thing.
Yeah.
How much Achmanis do you have on these people? Little, a lot, 0 to 10.
Tons.
Oh, you do?
The whole thing is beautiful. These idiots paid a fortune to sit in a sardine can like this to go see the Titanic and wave at it.
Oh, okay. So you're with me. You're saying you have zero sympathy.
None.
Oh, okay. All right. So we're together. I said 0 to 10. You're like 0. Couldn't care less.
You give me that thing for free, and I get to be on the next ship out. I'm doing it.
It just made me think. It really made me stop and go, I don't know if I'm a pioneer. As much as I think I'm a pioneer, I want to be on submarine number 2 to see the Titanic. Not
you want to be on the next one out, so they perfected it.
Right?
Yeah, no, I don't want to be the first guy out. Fuck that noise. A wild brouhaha ensued in Australia McDonald's when the guy threw a drink in a patron's face, and the McDonald's thing was, we don't encourage retaliation from our employees.
Oh, it's like I actually had Lululemon in my list here. Oh, I have it number 6. They fired a worker who stopped a robbery.
I don't know, but I had one of the funny things I ever said the other day. My buddy Molly asked, she said, seriously, do Orthodox Jews have workout clothes that they get? Where do they get them? And I said, well, they go to Lululemon. Off the cuff, it was top notch. It was the funniest thing I've said in years.
Nah, you've had some gems on here.
I don't know.
Lululemon's really good.
But the best. Are you hip to the Italian cyclists?
Talk more. I think I heard about this.
31 cyclists are disqualified from an Italian cycling race. You see what they did? They were busted for cheating by holding on to that little pace car that drives around. They just held it as it went up the hill, and this is all on video. And they're
Is
like,
it frowned
"Oh, we
upon?
didn't do that." Yeah, exactly. Nishiki, what? We're supposed to pedal? There's a whole pack of them
We
holding
were
on
supposed
to
to
this,
pedal. I didn't know I was supposed to
this
pedal.
tiny little Fiat, and there's like 20 of them surrounding it. We did it twice. Just very suspended and disqualified. I love these guys.
I saw a smart car today that I was like, I should have gotten a smart car. I really liked it.
To do what with?
I don't know, advertise. Speaking of disqualified, did you see that fishing competition where the winners lost something stupid like $2 million? They caught this massive marlin because the marlin was shark bitten, and that like breaks the rules that you can't catch it or something like that.
What?
Well, the marlin was wounded it was bitten by a shark, so they caught it and they're like, we win. They're like, no, you don't.
That's ridiculous. Yeah, here they come. Oh, wait, where is this thing?
Are you really dead airing this right now that you're looking it up?
Dead airing. Look at this, guys. Look at these guys. They're just holding onto a car in a pack.
31 of them.
It's the best thing ever. All right. That's what's making me get there. You? What do you got?
I got lots of stuff, but hey, Zach, what you watching?
I watched Bupkis, finished it. Excellent. But the last
Done.
3 episodes, not so. The sex scene with Brad Garrett, when him and Pesci are negotiating who's going to help him, was about as funny as TV gets.
Yeah, we're reruns
we
right
also
now. We talked about this.
what? Yeah, we
keep
also
going.
watched Rough Diamonds, which is a
Go on.
Antwerpian show. What the hell, wherever Antwerp is, like from Brussels, about the Orthodox Jews who fight the Belgian mob. I it was okay. It was pretty good. Jenna's parents recommended it. Sure, it existed. I don't know. We're watching about 12 Gordon Ramsay shows at this point, gearing up for going to the Savoy Grill in August in England. That's going to cost me God knows what. All of it.
Julia made me go to the Gordon Ramsay pub at Caesars for her birthday, where it's like overpriced, English food, and I was really not happy about it. It was amazing. It was even in Atlantic City, it was really good.
Yeah, well, we're gonna go to the one at the Savoy Hotel, and we're gonna have a lobster thermidor or like I don't know, beef Wellington, and hopefully get both and trade.
No invite
to England? Come on down.
When you going?
August. And I hope to see 2 Premier League games who don't make it easy. And I had to call West Ham like it's 1995. You had to like call the box office to find out the details on how to get tickets because they don't allow road fans in. And I was on hold for like half an hour. I'm like watching TV. No, then Mandy comes on and she's charming and delightful in the English accent. She tells me all the stuff I need to know when to get them. The minute I hang up, Verizon texts me, "You have a $95 bill for that call."
Oh, shit.
Apparently, I have international calling only when I leave America, not the other way. Jenna got the guy on chat, and within minutes, it was taken care of. If it had been me, I'd have war paint on. I'd like flying to Verizon headquarters for a face-to-face. No, instantly, the charge was taken away because Jenna was dealing. But, yeah, so we're doing all that.
So you want to talk about dumb people on the phone? After I see a patient, I have to call the doctors just to be like, hey, you sent me a note saying you want this for therapy. Just want to make sure you're good with that. And they're usually like, fuck off. Yeah, I wrote it down. Leave me alone. You have to go through the secretary. So I call a secretary today and I say, hey, I have a patient. His name is James, James. And then the last name was like 4 letters. It was, like Foxy, like Foxy. I'm just making something up, right?
Foxy.
And then the lady on the phone goes, hold on, can you spell the first name one more time? And I go, James.
You said James.
And she goes, and what's her last name? I went, his last name is Foxy. Again, completely made up. And she goes, and what is her date of birth? I'm going, I'm in my head, I'm going, are you messing with me? Like,
that would be amazing if she was torturing you.
She goes, can you hold on one moment? And I hung up the phone. I was like, this happened the other day where were we? We were somewhere and it was it was at the doctor's office. And Julia goes, this is the most boring job I think I've ever seen in my life. And we had just come from Starbucks. And I turned to her and I go, Julia, the people at Starbucks make the same amount of money that receptionist is making. Would you rather be running around crazy or having a nice, easy job? And she goes, oh, running around crazy. I would never want to be
but you get to write nonsense on a cup and call someone's name.
But the point is like
Milo with a Y.
Some people are made to cure cancer and others are meant to flip burgers. And this girl that I spoke with today,
when she kept on saying, diggers too. Caddyshack.
Her name, I was like, I cannot believe it. Hey, Zach, what am
I would have been screaming at her. Lady, listen to me. You're not getting it. It's a guy. He's got a schwanz. You can see it if you want to.
Probably it's part of business. I couldn't do that. What am I watching?
Screaming. Yeah, sure.
Not a fucking thing. Julie and I had just been sitting around staring at the walls. She's getting better watching TV. The only thing we watch, which I'm not recommending, but I'm such a glory hole diehard.
What?
When Julia was going into labor and they basically said, you need to wait till your contractions are more consistent. The Bill Walton 4-part documentary on ESPN just came out and it's horrible. There's no reason to watch this whatsoever, but it features two things that I really like. One, basketball, and the soundtrack, all Grateful Dead. All dead. I was like, and I'm sitting there just like trucking. Got my chips, cat. And Julie's looking at me like, this is terrible. I'm like, oh, no. American Gladiators was banging.
This popping off.
It was so good. All right, Zachy.
I'm watching Met games like a degenerate. I watched golf, a lot of golf. I love the Open.
Pishadoo of the week. We've kind of already hit on a couple of them here. So let's just start off with first. We talk about
your drinks. Submarine. Oh, there it is. Battleship reference. And they have a submarine. It's all there.
When you listen to last week's episode or 2 weeks ago, Fungible Token is never going to die.
That was excellent. That was excellent. Just out of the park.
Candidate number 1. I don't know where they get off going. Color of the summer, song of the summer. There's now the official drink of 2023. It's called the Hugo Spritz. It is Saint Germain, sparkling seltzer, sparkling wine, and mint. It's an Aperol Spritz, but
stir it with a guy named Hugo.
It's one of those things I heard. I go, this is so stupid. I was like, I don't like this. And whoever's picking it, also, that's an idiot. Candidate number 2. I thought this was going to make your list. I don't know the conversion rate. Maybe you can do it for me. But ya boy, Lionel Messi turned down $1 billion to go play in Miami for a couple of years.
Yeah. I don't know, man. That's a lot of money.
But it was like $1 billion Saudi money, but I think it equated to like hundreds of millions of dollars.
It's a lot. They give it away there. To go play in Miami, I don't know. I guess he's a horny guy. Yeah, it's a repressed country, man. Like, everyone looks good in a burqa.
Cat number 3. I don't want to be too political. I heard on the news that Joe Biden needed to get a root canal. Did you know that they put him under general anesthesia for a root canal?
At his age?
That's what I was thinking. I'm like, and I heard they did not swear in Kamala. I was just like, when I go get a root canal, I got to suck it up. They're putting him under for this?
He's got bigger problems. His son's posing with his schwanz out and a gun with prostitutes. There's a lot going on there.
That story's really bad. I was listening to the update on that
story
today.
Pictures. He's got his gun out and a pistol.
It's really
There's a lot going on with this kid.
Next candidate. Have you ever been to Aruba?
Yeah.
Okay. Nice, peaceful, one happy island. Do you feel a little...
course too.
I remember going there going, why is everybody here so safe, so sound? And then you go, hey, what about that Natalie Holloway chick that they kidnapped and killed a bunch of years ago? Do you know that the guy has come back around? He's denying it.
He's back? He's going back to the Senor Frogs?
He's going to jail or getting arrested for... He extorted money from the parents going, I do know where your daughter is. And then they didn't find it. And then he's going, I don't know what you're talking about.
God.
He's denying the whole thing, and the parents are like, no, we sent this guy money. We thought we'd get to see or find out. Like, they just want to know, like, what happened. Of course, obviously, they never will. It's a very sad story. Next candidate. One of my friends,
so
we'll just call him...
in general?
It's the Vandersloot guy. It's the whole story. It's just really messed up. It just made me go, like...
swept golf course.
You can't hit the bell too many times. Like, you killed the daughter. You can't then hit the parents up and you're like, I know where she is. Because it's double jeopardy, right? You can't go to jail for a second time for killing her.
According to Ashley Judd. Go on.
Tommy Lee Jones? Who's the guy in that?
It was.
Yeah?
I think so.
I'm texting with...
It was made.
Mr. Eat the Rat the other day. He was heading off to jolly old England. And he was going there for a couple of nights for work and whatever. And I said something like, cheerio, have a great time. And I put a picture of the English flag. And he responds with, what flag is that? And I was just like, fucking context, man. It's England.
How dumb is he? Where'd he go to college?
And he was like, I just thought it was that Britain flag. I'm like, oh my God. That was one of those like...
Well, it isn't the flag of England. The flag of England is the white one with the red cross.
That's what I sent. I sent him the white with the cross. And he goes, what flag is that?
What What a jackass.
Yeah, it was really, really bad. Candidate number 6 was Lululemon for firing somebody who stopped a robbery. I do think there was a racial component to that, which is they were not going with the, we want to keep our employees safe. They were doing the like, no, we don't stand for that. We're BLM, let them steal. Like, it was really stupid.
Send me that Chooch's number. I want to send him some random flags and see what he's got.
Candidate number 7, are you following the Zion Williamson sex drama?
No, I had nothing about this.
It went from good to great like an hour or two ago.
I watch tons of ESPN. I have no idea what's happening.
Why would they do it? They want him to be the face of the NBA. Like, do you realize that the future of the NBA is all European right now? Like, they have a real problem.
Jokic is the man. That guy is unsnipped.
Jokic, Giannis, and Luka, name the next great American hope. They thought it was going to be Ja. It ain't going to be him anymore.
Pew, pew. Pew, pew. He's got some problems.
Anyways, so you're probably not going to believe me, but Zion Williamson, who's this big star making all this money, is sleeping with a bunch of different women.
Shock me, shock me, shock me.
Well, one of them, who is an OnlyFans model, thought that she was like the only one, and she has all these videos and all these stories.
Has she seen the NBA?
It's just one of those things where she is beyond shocked, and she's going goblin mode like, I can't believe I let you do this. I can't believe we did that. And then today she drops and I'll be releasing the sex tapes in no time, so don't you worry. Twitter suspended her immediately, so I'm sure she has ways of letting this out. But they're now
social. You don't mind.
She's now attacking like the Pelicans, being like, hey, NBA, trade him or I'm doing this. Like, this woman is playing Puppet Master right now.
So trade him to the Knicks or the tape comes out.
Your mouth to God's ears. Take him.
Yeah, exactly. What do you do with her mouth?
Everything.
Let it go. If I watch the Dustin Diamond one, I'll watch the his too.
You watched that?
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah, it was all right. That was fun.
You liked it too. I couldn't care what he's working with. The commentary when he says "I'm your childhood," I'm all in. You got
next candidate.
I love a good sex tape. I love any celebrity train wreck. I love the girls that are nuts. I love like Amanda Bynes throwing a bong out the window from 40 stories out. I love all these 90s train wrecks. Yeah, fabulous theater.
Most teams have their cute little hashtags, let's go Mets, and I forget some. Rock the Red is the Caps. Do you know that the Cleveland...
What's the Birds one? What's the Orioles one? Fuck my life.
We're having a good season right now.
I know you are.
Cleveland Indians, theirs is hashtag for the land. I'm sorry, Cleveland Guardians, theirs is hashtag for the land. And I immediately went, isn't that a little much because of the whole Native American? I went, oh, no, like for the land, like Cleveland. But then I came back to, no, I think that's like a double entendre there.
I don't think they're smart enough to do entendres in Cleveland. It's a pretty simple society, if you think so. If you've ever been there, it's a shithole.
It's terrible. It's like one street and then the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. It was really,
it's not a lot going on there. Yeah, there's the lake, there's the street, and I was there on the sweetest day. That was something. You know about that?
No.
It's a fake Valentine's Day that they only have in Ohio. And we get there, and the fat waitress goes to me and my father and goes, "Hey, happy sweetest day." Like, I don't know what. Just, well, it's like Valentine's Day, and it's this and it's that. And there's a pause, and my dad goes, "That's my son." Maybe the funniest thing he's ever said in his life. She had nothing after that. It was a date. I don't know.
Coming down to the nitty gritty here, we talked about Conor McGregor, so let's skip that. I'm not sure which story is better. This is being rumored. The Washington Commanders may have to switch their name again because
what good?
The Commanders is already trademarked because apparently that's the U.S. Army versus the Air Force, like the football game they do every year is called like the Washington Commanders or the Commanders game or something like that. Are they stupid?
A little bit. How'd they not know?
I guess I didn't know.
How'd they not know? How'd they not find this out? They should just be Washington. Not a team. Just
football team is great. I enjoy it.
I think that's too soccery. But
as somebody who lives with a fan, and I quote, as long as the colors stay the same, I don't care.
Yeah. The W, it's fine. Just like the Washington, I don't know, Americans. Who gives a shit?
The Fed was what they should have been.
That would have been great.
Yeah,
the Federalists, and you can call them the Fed.
No, the Fed. Just the Fed.
Just the Fed.
The Fed.
the Bureau would have been good, too.
And my favorite story that I heard in the last 2 weeks, it's official. Bud Light's revenue share has been absolutely crushed. They have been officially removed as America's #1 beer. They've been replaced by Modelo Especial, which
Get the
I'm
hell
not
out
sure.
of here.
I'm
you
not
sure. It's not
sure.
Coors?
I'm not sure
It couldn't have gone any better with a black cap.
how American Modelo is, but people have boycotted Bud Light, which is obviously owned by Anheuser-Busch, and now they are in favor of Modelo. Hey, Zach, do you know who owns Modelo?
Anheuser-Busch.
What in the hell?
People are idiots.
They're so stupid.
It's not Beechwood aged.
Hey, you learned something.
Yeah. I don't know how you make
Hugo's.
Modelo. Modelo is just like some cerveza and some Mexican tap water.
Hugo Spritz, Messi turns down a lot of money, Biden root canal with general anesthesia, the Vandersloot Aruba fiasco, England has a flag too, Lululemon, robbery, Zion Williamson getting ready to go viral, Guardians for the land, Conor McGregor, Commander's trademark, and Modelo Especial.
There's a lot going on there. I don't know. I think it is probably Messi for turning on all that money, but he's got plenty of money. And if that's the case, then it's the Commanders just being the worst. Well, the worst always. I think. What are you going with?
Nah, Modelo is the worst. I mean,
Modelo's
obviously Conor
pretty
McGregor
good.
for everything about him.
Well, I mean, for the rape, but like, knocking out the mascot. Call back to Ace Ventura. Ooja boo boo.
Boozer Day of the podcast. Thanks for listening to tonight's episode. We had fun. I'm going to do my best to try to do this weekly, hopefully bi-weekly. If Zach's into that type of thing. I was going to talk about the submarine. Zach, you asked about the first name, Asher. You know why we named him that? Because the skies were full of ash the day he was born.
BS, you had that name planned forever. You pulled that on the spot? Well, we had Jacqueline planned for Zoe, and then they asked us as we're being wheeled in. This is my grandfather. The middle name. How are you spelling it? Like, oh, we never thought about that. So we're suddenly looking up all these names, and it's like Jack and there's apostrophe. So we went with like the long QU, but like we had two idiots didn't think about the spelling until like we're being wheeled in on a gurney.
We out.